you and maybe for the people that you've listened to and worked with through this journey? What are those critical turning points?
So thank you, Nisa. Let me pick a name people like using it, especially in our Gen Zs and millennials.
Okay.
Kusota.
All right.
Can you relate to the word?
Kusota.
People say Minnesota. Yeah? And that's a phrase that I've heard over time. Everywhere I go, whether in the marketplace, whether in church, everyone is saying Minnesota. So for me, I think it starts with a mindset. All right? A mindset where you keep thinking that umesota, and it becomes part of your vocabulary. Yes? That's a conversation you always hold. Even when money comes, it comes and goes. So you live paycheck to paycheck, there's a rat race, so it's never enough. So that is the word that you embrace each and every other time. Even at the point where money comes in on that particular day, you know uko na pesa. But you still undermine the fact that uko na pesa, unasema nimesota. So to me, I think you first need to have some clarity and have some mindset that you can be different. And everybody has an equal opportunity because we are all human beings. We are all human beings. And above all, God has given you an opportunity to wake up every morning to go out there and look for money. Because I'm sure if you are above the age of probably 25 or 21, you must be in a space where you're making money. So that means haujasota. That means there's some money that comes in your pocket and you're able to pay rent every month. You're able to pay some electricity. Every day you move around, so that means unalipa matatu wherever you're going to. So then haujasota. So for me, I think I would start from the aspect of mindset and try and change the analogy and talk to yourself and tell yourself, yes, you make money on a monthly basis. So the next thing you need to agree on is haujasota. Yes, I know financial failure is there, I agree. And it comes with different seasons. It can be in business. It can be on your own. Unaweza kuwa you've been sacked, so you're no longer working, so there's no longer an income coming. Those are situations that can lead to financial failure. Maybe you had money somewhere and did not utilize it the way it's supposed to be utilized. That could be the situation. But first is your mindset. Yes, first is your mindset.
Interesting. When you say about mindset, and now you're saying you're living paycheck to paycheck, and the analogy of nimesota. Mindset. What are we looking at exactly? Because I'm now thinking, if at all it's mindset, then we have people who we normally say mindset. This person, unasikianga, you're living above your means. Would we say above your means in the sense of you see yourself as a rich person. You dine with the fine people. You dress with elegance, sindio, when it comes to bag, when it comes to everything that you're doing it at an extreme, would you say an extreme level, but or rather a higher level, without considering maybe your paycheck, because at some point go fake it till you make it. So because I want to, I always proclaimed myself to be rich, so naishi hivyo. So kama ni eating, tunaenda Kempiski. Kama ni kuvaa nguo, we go to that fine collection outfitters. Tunaacha kuenda thrift shops. Kama ni kiatu, we have those places, you know. So when you look at me, the first appearance, man, you just see this woman, money. But now, when it comes to reality, tukianza now, real conversations, the ones that you have with you, now, tell me, how much did you buy this bag for? I tell you, and they're like, and how much do you earn? Uko sawa lakini? And I'm like, so when you find someone who is like that, the mindset is rich, the appearance, hata ukimuona, is it the aura? There are those people you might look, they have money, but ukiangalia unawadharau. And you realize, unaambiwa, that man is very humble, na ako na pesa zote. They're like, what is humility? What is being humble? Okay. The fact that nakuangalia na sioni unakaa pesa na uko na pesa. And then there is this other person, uodema nangaranga. She looks money. But in reality, Money gani? Kusota amesota. So now where is that thin line?
Okay, let me take another analogy that we say. Pesa haipendi
Kelele.
pesa haipendi kelele.
Okay.
Which is very true. Pesa haipendi kelele. And I can tell you, if you ever see someone with not money, now we're not talking about now it's beyond money, it's wealth. As in you've utilized money and you've created a bit of focus in it and a bit of intentionality and a bit of, call it purpose. So now it's now beyond money. Those are the people you're saying they are wealthy. So wachana na pesa. Ukiwa na pesa 1 day or 2 days, it's neither here or there. It's a good thing, yes. But how far have you gone in making sure that the income, the first thing you need to understand now when you're in that space is your income. There's something called an income. Income is money that comes into your pocket on a monthly basis. Either through a salary, either through business, either through a wage, either through even a family. Probably there's a family that is rich and maybe you guys get income every other month from it. It doesn't matter where your income comes from. What matters is what do you do with your income to build wealth, especially if you name the world budget, people want to run away. But do you have that obvious budget, that obvious income that you need to have so that every month you're able to settle in and pay your bills on time and work towards your goal? Do you have such plans in place for you? If you don't, then I'm sure you will linger up. Then you'll always be saying, nimesota. So that girl who you're telling me is out there and doing what she needs to do. You're only putting a face to the kind of things they are going through. So that's why they're out there shouting and trying to put out a brave face, and yet they are dying inside them. They are in depression, they're in debt. Yes.
Interesting.
So that's it, yes.
The journey that you've been able to walk by yourself and also with other people. Failure, we say you fail, you wake up, you walk, you fail again. You just don't stop until you make it, right?
Yes.
But where is the turning point? Where do you know now? Because in every story, if I would say, like as a Christian, so that you make a decision of receiving salvation or being born again, kuna ka testimony, yeah?
Yes.
You know.
Yes.
Now, you, by yourself, you know, this was my turning point.
Yes.
We've had people who are telling stories and saying, wanafanya, but they know there is God, but they still do the same thing, right? Until ule wa mwisho anakuambia, nilikuwa nichomwe kitu ilikosa ni kiberiti. That was my turning point. Now, back to finances. What is that trigger or turning point that you've had, like maybe severally with maybe different people, and you could say until ufike hapo, because there's a point, the way you look at a child and you're like you said, the wealthy person will look at you, why should you even rant? When you get to where I am, you learn how to keep quiet, right? So me, that I'm making a lot of noise here, it's because I'm not where this other person is. That is why I'm making noise over very small issues and ranting about money. So at what point would you say, I'll still fail in as much as I'm wealthy, I'll still lose my balance here and there, but keeping up now that discipline, now the turning point, actually the question is, the exact turning point that would say, now ukishafika hapa, if you don't have the U-turn turning point, yako imeenda. Okay. Tutaishi tu tukipiganga story. Now, hizo ndo zile the Gen Z stories za jaba.
Let me talk about my turning point. And as I start off, there's something I want to read here. Financial failure is not a dead end. It's a detour with directions. If you're willing to read the signposts.
If you're willing to read the signposts.
Yes.
All right.
So when I was at that space of financial failure, and the nimesota acronym. All right.
All right.
There's so many things that come your way, and you realize this was a failure. I should not have done this. I should have done this. I shouldn't have done this. I know you see them practically. Yeah? All right. So there are 3 practical steps you can take So the number one practical step that you can take is number 3 is reflect, reframe, and rebuild. Reflect, reframe, and rebuild. So reflection is you sit and look back from where you're coming from, especially look back from the time on your first employment. I'm sure you were given a salary on your first paycheck. Can you sit and ask yourself, what did you ever do with that first paycheck? Yeah. Most of us, including me, I can't tell what I really did. And I remember at some point I was really paid well. I used to work with a very good NGO, and at some point I was paid well. But I can't look back and figure out exactly what I did with that money. And it's because it's not because I didn't have the money, I did. But you had given us a story of guys who are out there and they're living a life that is not theirs. I think probably that's what I did. So I picked that as one signpost, and I realized there's so many things I did that were not necessary. So those are the signposts I'm talking about, yeah? Things that you learned along the way. Yeah, that is reflection. Because that reflection is what will create your current reality. Yeah. So once you reflect, now try and reframe. Right? Reframing is what stories are you telling yourself currently? The issue of mindset. Yeah. Are you telling yourself, Monica, you can do it? Yeah? Because let me tell you, in your body there are two things. There is you and there is your mind. And those are two people who really fight. But sometimes your mind overcomes your flesh. When you are very, very consistent, you can tell your body what to do. And it listens. So sit, reframe. What stories are you telling yourself? What kind of mindset are you putting in your mind when money comes? All right? Are you telling your mind that, yes, I'm living in this house today and I have to pay this rent? I want electricity, I have to pay it. I have a child going to school, I have to save for that child. Are you telling yourself such things? And as I tell you, money is positive and money attracts a lot of positivity. So once you reframe and you start telling yourself that this is what I want with myself, this is what I want with my money, and you let your money tell you, don't let your money tell you what to do. You should tell your money what to do because you're the one who made the money. Yeah? You know, people wait for money comes and money nakwambia, oh, sijui who is sick. So the money is dictating and you're the one who made the money. So why don't you sit and tell your money, now come here? I worked hard, so this is what I want you to do. I want you to pay for my electricity. I want you to, that's what you call live and enjoy. All right? You've created the money, you've built that wealth. Why do you want to not enjoy it and do what you're supposed to do? Then number 3, rebuild. Well, what can you start with what is left? What can you start with what is left? Yeah. Once you realize that you need to have a budget, you need to plan for your money, and you need to save for yourself. That what you've left for Eunice, what do you think you can do it to impact you as a person? So those are the 3 steps you need to follow to rebuild yourself. So we said, reflect, reframe, and rebuild.
All right, hapo kwa rebuilding. Exactly what are we looking at in terms of rebuilding? You say, what are you left with to rebuild yourself? So when it comes to the principle of spending your money, mostly you advise saving is the first thing. You save before you spend.
Yes.
And save before you spend, you realize even the percentage that you're given at some point, you're not even able to, but you're told at least save something.
Okay.
Right? Now, here in rebuilding with what is left, so is it what is left after I've paid everything that needs to be paid, so that I can say this is what I'm left with, so that I can rebuild myself? Or what are those dynamics for you to say, for us to be able to understand when you say, what do you have left for you to rebuild yourself?
Okay. We said the 3 steps, practical steps, is to reflect. So you've gone through the journey of doing all things that you've done, all right? And then you realize you need to change. Because there's a time in life that change is inevitable. There are very many things that are overwhelming you, and you realize if you don't change, things are going to fall out of place. Yes. Then you reframe. Reframe is now, again, just to remind us, is that when you're telling yourself now what to do. Telling yourself what to do is now where you rebuild. And rebuilding now, you think more about yourself other than thinking about others. That's number one. That is mindset. Now you say Eunice is the one who is always waking up very early in the morning and waking up and doing stuff. So you want to rebuild. Rebuilding is now where you recollect yourself and tell yourself, as much as I'm earning, as much as I have other things to do out there, there is myself. So I have to pay. I have to make sure every month I have something aside for myself. Why are you having that something aside for myself? You may be having a saving where you will pick that money and also build another a stream of income. We put that money into business. How will it impact you finally? If you were to put that money into business,
it's going to
create more income. You may wake up one morning and tell myself, no. Right now, I need to make sure I save for my child's education. Who will it affect? It will affect your financial journey at the end of it. You'll wake up one morning and say, no, I want to build an emergency fund. Yeah? Out of the monies I'm making, I want to build an emergency fund. Because when in emergency fund, especially when emergency comes, you have no friend. I can tell you for sure, you have no friend. That is the time you now realize and come in to check with your money. And you start wondering, gosh, I've made all this money, I've helped all these people. Then you start blaming people, they don't help you and you've been helping them. Then now you start now having issues with your health because you're getting depressed and then unaanza kuchukia watu bure. Yeah, when you pick a call and ask your friend for help and probably you remember you gave him or her some 20,000 some years ago. And then that person tells you yes. So you create a lot of enemies. I don't know whether you understand. True. Yeah? So for me, that is what is called rebuilding. It's thinking about yourself first and trying to make sure whatever little thing you get, you have something for yourself, and that something should not just be there. It should be geared towards building back yourself in terms of creating more income in future, creating more capacity in terms of social capital, because money and social capital are the same. So the more money you have, the more you attract
good social capital.
So it is investing in yourself first. And I can tell you, by the way, it only takes like a year or two. And you realize a big difference when you now rekindle back your love for money and a relationship for money and rebuild, rethink, and make sure that everything works for you, especially when you're making it does not matter whether you're making 1,000 shillings, it does not matter whether you're making 1 million. What matters is what is your take home as Eunice. Yes. And when you take that money home, what are you doing? Are you investing that money? Do you have goals? Are you focusing on your goals? A year down the lane, you'll be different. God is a God of just. You will be different.
I love the way we always have our bottom line that God is the center of everything, regardless of where you're coming from. I want us to take a break. And now when we come back, we can take it a notch higher. Okay, the fresh starts that you are now talking about. I've realized I've failed, and now I need the fresh start. Where am I starting from? Rebuilding. Yes, you've already mentioned rebuilding. You say also it takes an year or two for you to see that big difference. Until you're patient enough, you even a month, bro, is not easy. It's not. It is not. But now being resilient enough for you to wait for a year or two to see the results that you need, then it also takes a lot of patience. And also realizing the exact places and nuggets, and also because by the end of the day, it's going to affect not only me, myself, but people around me, because also it calls for me to make decisions where I have to say even no, a bold no, without feeling the burden of I have offended someone. Because let us look at it from this perspective. Most of us, we say, I'm working because of, not for myself. I'm working because of my kids. I want them to have a good life. I'm working so that I'm able to retire my parents. I'm working so that I'm able to maybe move my parents from this area that they are living to settle them somewhere permanently. We always have that big dream, right? So everything that we do, we gear our energy towards that direction. If your center of attention are the kids, that's it. You'll be If it is yourself, that's a different ball game altogether. But given what is driving you, you say, have that intimate money conversation, right? My intimacy, you say, we always say, ungekuwa na watoto huwezi kuwa ukilala vile unalala, right? What does that say? I'm working because of the kids.
Yeah,
So if I did have kids, I wouldn't struggle because someone else will say, kama singekuwa na watoto na hizi responsibilities, mi siwezi jisumbua. Chakula yangu tu. We always have different analogy. But what is the right angle to look at it, especially when you're now saying you need a fresh start?
Yeah.
And maybe a new motivation or a direction, because you said failure is a detour.
Yeah, it's a detour.
Viewer, I hope you're learning as much as I am. Send in your question, interact with us across all our social media networks. That's GBS TV Africa. Our SMS line is 21144. We'll be back shortly.
About being a miss or being a pageant queen, it is not just about wearing a crown or looking pretty on social media.
Yeah.
It is about how much you can impact the community.
Yeah.
What can you do with the title you hold? I'm actually a young model in the industry. I
Okay.
started modeling this year in school.
Oh,
Actually, I used to go to International Youth Fellowship where we had a modeling class. I used to study fashion and design, and we had a modeling class. So I am high fashion trained.
yeah.
On Instagram, kelly.omuhaya. On TikTok, Miss Omuhaya.
Now tell us about that moment when you had your name that you won Miss Kasarani 2025-2026.
What I would like to advise you is keep going. Keep going. Put God first. Be resilient. Be a go-getter. Find joy within yourself. Walk with pride. Chin up. Smile. You are a queen. He who is in you is greater than he who is in the world. That makes me always rise, knowing that I have something that is greater than what people can see.
Yeah.
I'm your host, the most Chungu.
SK the DJ Ava, aka the Mix Wizard.
Don't call me MC Slingshot. If the flag don't pick up, I'ma lose it. All I need is grass, meaning boozy. I'm worried about Jada Juicy. Yeah. Comparing me to these rappers nika kunitusi. Walidhani masa ni chizi ya kiosha mbuzi.
Mbuzi in this reference inamaanisha nini? Oh, you're the god!
Ndio.
Tulikuwa tuna wasanii wa shule kila Friday unaitwa form 4 wakanilipia my first video.
Yeah.
Nikaingia shule nikagwa shukrani.
Ngoje, shule yako ilikulipa?
Yeah, ilinilipia kila kitu, audio, video.
Hello, kids. Did you know a year has 31,557,600 seconds? Why do you think so? Exactly. There are 60 seconds in a minute, 60 minutes in an hour, 24 hours in a day, and 365 and 25 days in a year. We count the extra 0.25 because of leap years. When you multiply all these numbers together, you get a huge number of seconds. That's why a year feels long, but time still flies when you are having fun.
Hello, my name is Nyabio. I'm from Mahanim. Call this school a good school. because the second my mom saw it, she saw it was Christian based. And when I see Christian based, that's what the character my mother wants from me. And I like the sports that we play for PE. Like sometimes we play table tennis, we can play football, we match, and on Fridays we have games. And we verse the teachers in football. And this is why I think the school is the best school your children can go to.
Everywhere, GBS.
Welcome back, viewer, to Chungu cha Jamii. Today we are talking about bouncing back after you failed and you want now to make a fresh start when it comes to financial matters. Just in case you're joining us, we are with Miss Monica here, and she's teaching us a lot about money. Please send in your question, interact with us across all our social media networks. That's GBS TV Africa, or SMS line is 21144. So, Monica, before we went on a break, I'd ask you a question. We are talking now about the fresh start. You say it's the rebuilding part.
Yes.
During the break, I was telling you about how many financial advisors, because thanks to social media, we have a lot of advisors who are coming up, people, and they speak at some point something similar, but also in a very different perspective. I love the fact that you've pointed out boldly that we need to have an intimate relationship with our money, so that we are able to plan our money and tell our money what to do, not the money telling us, right? Now, the fresh start. We agree that if I'm moving from Nairobi to Mombasa or to whichever region or country, I'm moving there to look for money. That's standard. That's unquestioned. It's constant. But now, what am I going to do there? How am I going to get this money? This fresh start that we are talking about, because as we are rebuilding, is it because I've realized I have failed totally? And when you go and things still don't work out, do you move again and rebuild, or how now do we structure this rebuilding so that we have the consistency and we are able to see the change in an year or two, and also having the patience and resilience to push? Because with an year or 2 years, we are talking about 24 months of either repeating the same thing or doing something different every month, or which is now the formula when exactly you're saying rebuilding.
Okay. Eunice, I said when you're starting, we talked about mindset, yeah?
True.
All right. And who wants to live in pain throughout, right? So, and we said the first experience or the first change in the money journey is to change your mindset and to start thinking that you can do it. All right? And start telling yourself you can do it. One, we have agreed that you make money. Whether you're making a lot of money, whether you're making small monies, that is not what is important. What is important is the mindset. What is important is, the mindset is now where I'm talking about you having a relationship with your money. You're having a candid relationship with your money. I've talked and I said that it is you who wakes up early, very early in the morning. All right? But why do you accept yourself to go for those 2 hours where you're feeling depressed? Yes, you had the money. And I said those are the circumstances that you create, and you make them, you do a detour, and you take all the circumstances and use them to your advantage. Even when I know so many people who relocate to the US, and I'm sure that when you're out there in the US, you make much money. But I also know people who have been in the US and they're back in their country, but they don't have money. So it's not where you are, it is what is in it for you with your money. Do you have that candid relationship? Are you in love? Let me just call it. Are you in love with your money? I mean,
would you say it's because maybe when you ask, are you in love with your money?
Yes.
Then don't we know the meaning of love, or maybe our definition of love differs?
Let me ask you, when you're in love, what do?
You put that person or whatever thing as a priority.
Yes. The first thing you do when you're in love, you give a lot of time to that space, to that person that you love. All right? When he calls you, you just say, waiter, can I pick this call? Is it true? Yeah? All right? And then you have a lot of plans. Do you have plans when you're in love? You have a lot of plans for that warm and nice feeling, and you are looking forward, and then you're now even thinking how we're going to get babies, and then those long term, and you're thinking this person can marry me, you're thinking, wow, this is a good person, and you're talking about finances, and you're talking how to build wealth, how to do a lot of things together. So what are you doing at that point in life? When you're in love, that's the same relationship. You need to have your money. You need to ask that boyfriend called money, sit here, let's agree. Give me time.
Let me interrupt you and ask you this. Now that you've brought the aspect of being in love, being in a relationship, which is intermarried very well when you're talking about finances. When it comes now to relationships, we've had people who have had cycles of either wrong people in their life when you think it's the right person until you get the right person. And at that point, you always ask, when do you know this is the right person? And then you're told, if you know, you know. There you leave it to, if you know, you know, right? Okay. Coming now back to money. When you're now saying you sit your money down as your boyfriend, right? And having that relationship. And you've had the cycles of failure, cycles of, you know, the constant repeated cycles. So at what point now do you say, because, you know, especially when it comes now to relationship of interperson, it's when you've given up and you've said, to hell. That is now when things are starting to work, if you look at it maybe from that angle. Is it the same with money? Because when you've really given up and you're like, I'm putting zero effort on this, if it works, it works. If it doesn't work, I've already made up my mind, I'm going to be single. Now, come back to money.
So two things. You have agreed you'll have learned something.
True.
Out of that relationship.
True.
And that's something you need to pick it and use it as a weapon and to your advantage in the next step.
All right.
All right. So it's not about failing.
It's about the lessons.
It's about the lesson learned from the previous interaction. Yeah? Because I'm sure if you get to another relationship, I'm sure you're going to be a better person. You'll see the red flags way early.
True.
And I'm sure, as I said, who wants to go through pain forever?
No one.
At some point, I mean, you need to live and enjoy. All right?
True.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So for me, what I would say when it comes to rebuilding, let's now get to the practical part of it in terms of financial matters. Yeah. You've done all those things that you've done. You've been in that space where you have said as how you've been hurt enough times by money or by that boyfriend. Let's relate the two. And then you've picked your lessons, and then you want to start all over again. And you've said by starting all over again, it's first to think about yourself first. And it's about a matter of pay. So there are two things here. There's money and there's you. And then the third person here is a relationship. Me, this relationship, usually, I like it to relate it with something we call budget. All right? And I say budget is telling your money where to go, instead of your money telling you where it wants to go. For me, that's my key. I am the king. This is the rule of the game. For us to live well, the two of us, it's me first, and my pains of waking up very early in the morning. Yeah. My pains of getting home late at night. Eunice being here the whole day. Sometimes you don't eat, but at the end of the month, this guy comes, your boyfriend now, or your girlfriend, the so-called money. So this guy, if you don't give this guy time, the boyfriend now, the money now, if you don't give this person time, if you don't give this guy proper audience, if you don't have a conversation with this guy, if you don't tell this guy what you want, who will? Who will? Other people will. Other people will dictate, and that's why you're telling me that someone can easily call you and you just give money. Because if you've forgotten, there was you. And there was you and the sweat and the energies you've put to make sure this guy stands out. All right? So the third person comes in, kindly tell your money where to go. And once you tell your money where to go, there's an aspect of saving. And that saving will now, over time, I'm not sure you will save in a retirement fund, and then when you're 60, you will struggle. You will not. Because you will be saving for retirement. There's deductions that come through every month from your pay. That in a year, you have 300,000, another year you have 600, another year you're 1 billion. When you look at that statement, I'm telling you, it gives you Tisha. There is that word. You think that you want to grow it more and more. You will not lose track. It's very difficult to lose track when you have a relationship with your money. All right? It is very difficult because you realize, I need to add on to this. And has time, and there's aspect of time. Probably you're old, probably you're young. Probably you're trying to come into a space of having your career in place so that you can make money. It doesn't matter. What matters is identifying with your space and trying to own up and have goals. And then what are those goals? Those goals can only be determined by having a relationship with your money. That boyfriend, you have to give that boyfriend time. And I'm sure a year or two, you will be looking at your circle and you realize that I've saved 100,000. So times 3, that's 300,000. When you're given 300,000, where will you go? You'll go out there and look for something to buy. I mean, you cannot be the same. Yeah? If you had sat and said, let me save for my child's education today. All right? And over time, sometimes I wonder, let me just brief this. You give birth to your child, yeah? So it was 9 months journey. And then that kid goes to school. Probably he's in class 8. And then it comes as a surprise. All right? Or your daughter or son is going to the university, and then it comes as a surprise.
It's not a surprise, really. Would we say it's because I didn't plan myself well, or things didn't go as planned, in the sense of
because that means maybe you are sick, so you are not earning, then we can understand that. Maybe at a point something happens, probably you are not able to work because maybe you are jailed. But as much as you are making money all along, I mean, you knew your child is doing class 8. And in January, regardless of the new education system, in January, you knew that there's a money market fund. Probably you would have just called someone and say, no, let me put like a 5,000 here while I wait for a year for class 8, so that by the time that boy or guy is going to Form 1, you will have some funds. Or you would have just started when the young boy or the young girl was in her early ages and put 2,000 shillings or even less. Yeah? So that's now a relationship with money. So you're trying to prepare yourself for the future as much as is present. I know people don't want issues in regards to long term, but goals are either short term, mid term, or long. Because when you have a child, you have 25 years to deal with that child. Most of the time, your babies exit in your space after they are 25. So whether you like it or not, long-term conversations have to be there in your financial journey. Yeah. And then short-term, you have house rent you have to pay. Mid-term, your kid is getting to class 8 in the next 8 years, and you have to have more children. All those are practical things that are in our lives. Why don't you start relating with them early enough? Yeah? Instead of waiting. Why don't you go back to unis, inside unis, and have conversations with unis, so that when money comes, that boyfriend comes, you tell them, let me tell you, my daughter or son is going to school in the next 10 years. Come, what can you do for me? Those are practical.
I love
comments.
how simple you put it. You know, it's like a pastor telling you about salvation. Man makes you think that it's a walk in the
No, it's
park.
doable. By the way, it is doable.
It is. I'm not saying it's
Yes, it
not.
is.
Anyway,
Who your boyfriend we have to get married forever? This money matter has to be. We have to have a conversation and a serious love dose.
extra.
Yes. Lazima nimpende.
Agreed. Agreed. Especially when you put it that way, it makes me reflect personally and seeing where now I'm missing here and there. And another thing that is coming, would you say that those people who are failing to have this relationship with the boyfriend called money, it's because they are also not able to ask in the actual relationship with a physical boyfriend? Because you've had people who are, social media is teaching us a lot. It has a lot of, would you say experts are people who have experienced different things? Because you'll have men advising women, women advising men how to be treated like, you know. Especially now when you say, when you're calling this boyfriend money, and now you want, we want us to have now a conversation about our future. We have kids, we have a house we want to build, we have so many things that we need to agree on. Remember, we are talking with someone who hears, but he has seen, but also ni invisible in a way. See Monica, like I'm seeing
Not
you
a
right
physical
now,
being.
right? But now, when it comes now to relationship, me and a person, if I'm not able to express myself in regards of what I want, my boundaries, my, you know, those are those the negotiables, the non-negotiables, the deal breakers. You know, we are told when you're getting into a relationship, you should be able to learn and understand yourself first before you accommodate someone else. Is that the same case when it comes to finances? So that I may know if I'm not able to ask direct, because some of us are not able to ask, right? And you're here listening and you're like, wait, why does that man do this to you? And you're not reacting, or you're bothered and you're like, it's a big deal, because to you it's natural, Lama. It's normal. But to someone else, a third person, is like, no, that one is wrong. Right? Now, when it comes to, would you say it's reflecting like that because you're not able to like distinguish?
Yes.
Or how would you put it?
Now, it doesn't mean that now you're in the journey of financial management or financial growth that you will not make mistakes. You will definitely make mistakes. Remember, we have agreed in this journey, we have a social capital. All right? So when you're making money, you make money out of other people's pocket. I don't know whether you know. Because like this institution, there is the owner. So what you're doing, you're bringing your expertise and you're making money out of this person's pocket. All right? Now, assuming you came into this institution and you put your expertise and you're not paid and you're in your financial journey. All right? That is a bad. Assuming a friend comes in and talks to me about some investment that is coming, like one I did some years ago. And I put around 50,000 shillings, and I was told in a few months or days, this money is going to grow. And in my financial journey and in my relationship with money, I thought I'm doing some justice to this guy or this girlfriend of mine, all right? I'm trying to grow. So, and this is a social relationship I have with someone. It's a social being like me, and we have this relationship. And I accepted. And no, I told the person, just give me like 6 months, where after 6 months, come and show me how much you've made. And after 6 months, the person came, and I was just very happy. Hey, this person is making money. Hey, okay. It's growing. Hey, I said, okay, to myself, oh, wow, I should also try. So what I did, I went out there and looked for 50,000 shillings. All right? That was some years back. And I also got involved in the same. By the way, the first 2, 3, 4 times I made money. And I was also happy. Then, Come the fourth time, I decided, now since this money I've made, so you know what happens? Now you see more money coming, you also want to put more. So I went further. So I did not take the principle. So what I did, I plowed everything back, and I added something small. And I told myself, well, the next few years I should be buying a car, I should be buying more land. I'm telling myself, you see, remember, I'm in a financial journey. Eh? So now this boyfriend you're talking about comes in and gives you some crazy things and anakudanganya, you see, anakupaka mafuta, but at the end of it, so there's something more to it. So one morning, we woke up. And in that site, we were told it's under maintenance. And we said, and they wrote an email there and said, and the email they said they're under maintenance, they want to make this site better than it was before, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh, business is blooming. Yeah, we are growing. So another 2 days, it's still not up. The next day, the site has been closed. My 50,000 plus the what I added, plus what I made.
Gone.
So I tried calling this person. He's telling me, oh, you see, this thing is going to be back. You know, I kept checking. Can you imagine the anxiety? Now that's where health comes in. Can you imagine the anxiety I lived with for almost 2 years waiting?
It came back after 2 years?
It didn't.
But you let it go after 2 years.
But I let it go after 2 years. So it doesn't mean that in this financial journey that you think that you will not make things right, or everything will be a mini, what do you call a walk in the park. No. Of course you will meet challenges along the way. So let me tell you today, you will not wake up one morning and tell me that this is the way to go. Me, I don't want, if you're ever in an investment where you wake up at night to think about it, please don't do it. If you wake up at night and start thinking, is that thing still there? No, I don't want. I hear investments that wake up at 2:30 to check. No, that will cost your life. It's create and build wealth, live and enjoy. Will you enjoy wealth when you're unwell, when you've not slept the whole night? Now I know better. So I just want somewhere I will keep my money, and I know even if I come back after 10 years, I will retire in style. I want a place where I'll keep my money, but if I go away for like 20 years, I know my kids will go to school. It's the kind of investment that I want to do. Those are the kind of relationships I want. So when I see the red flag as you're talking about in that relationship, I'm out.
I think I'm being told we're running out of time, but we need a segment where now we are talking about the red flags.
Yes.
Because your red my red may not be your red per se.
Yes.
And also getting to know the right channels, because you say my health is a priority.
Yes.
And I don't have to wake up at night to check on my investments. Yes. But yet again, we have had people who've been swindled a lot, that now we are very skeptical and fearful of even investing. When you're told, especially if you've lost money, you'll be like, a pyramid scheme, not working. A Binance, not working. Because it didn't work for you, but it's working for someone else. So at what point would you say, now this one it's a good one, this one is not a good one? This is a conversation I think we really need maybe to look into in more depth, because it's not something that you can say to 100%, this is the formula. It is okay, we are getting nuggets, how to move around, but yet again, what is the manual per se? And utasema, by the way, if you follow this manual, you'll never get lost. By the end of the day, you will win. And also, what is this win that we are looking at? Anyway, could you give us your parting shot for today?
Wow, a parting shot. Oh, these are my parting shots. I love the conversation of money. And let me tell you, if there's something sweet in this world, is money.
True.
Oh. If there's something that makes people want to to acknowledge your status quo, is money. So, in the journey of money, get to understand that there are a lot of failures. Yes. In the journey of money, get to know there are many opportunities that I know you can plug into, and your world will change and you'll create a lot of wealth. And also there's a word where you will make money and it will be a source of death as well, a source of demise. It will be a source of a lot of things happening in your life. So I would urge that we follow our practical steps. Anytime we're in that space, anytime, I repeat, kindly rise up to the occasion, reflect. Whether it's on a position where you failed, just wake up and reflect. Even when you're making money, have some pit stops. Yeah? Where you reflect back and tell yourself, what are you doing good? Kind of find a financial GPRS. Yeah? Financial GPRS is like the way you're going to Nairobi and you don't know a certain building in town. Yeah? And you put a GPRS.
Sure.
Have a pit stop and get a financial GPRS where you even get a financial advisor to just advise you where you're taking your turns. And the opportunities are available. So that is reflecting. Reframe is, what are your stories? Both when you're making money or you're not making money. If you're making money, what are your stories? What have you done? Do you do something we call, do you sit and assess yourself in terms of your achieved assets or achieved portfolios, or what have you achieved since you started working? All right? And if you've not, also, you're on the other side, can you also sit and assess yourself, reframe and tell yourself, what have I ever achieved? Nothing. If nothing, how can I now rebuild? And even if you've started, yeah, how can you now restructure again and start again? You can always start again from whatever end you are. Whether you're doing it right or not doing it right, you can also do the 3 steps together. So that's my part in short. Reflect, reframe, and rebuild. Yes.
Thank you so much, Monica, for honoring our invite and helping us to have this very meaningful conversation of bouncing back and also having a fresh start. Viewer, I hope you've learned as much as I have. Let's continue this conversation offline across all our social media networks. That's GBS TV Africa. Our SMS line is 21144. Till next time, have a nice time. Goodbye.